Hi, I just thought I'd show you my garden and what I've been up to in the last couple of years. I had a very good garden going up in Karamea. I owned a house there quite a few years ago, and I'm just trying to catch up on setting a garden up here and establishing. That's just a self-seeded potato there, and here you'll see, I can't remember what it's called, but if you message me on Facebook I can let you know. This is a caligator. Not sure of the name. If you plug it into a hose and it's got a sensor on there, and every time a cat, dog or anything that you don't want on your property, it squirts out an automatic spray. I loved it, but it also squirts humans. I bought that off Trade Me second hand and it's been great, apart from getting me. Okay, so here, down this path, we have Desiree potatoes. A lot of them are self-sown from last year's harvest. And here I've put in some more potatoes. And in here I have a container of water, which I usually put out in the middle of the grass for the birds so they can have a bath, because it's been such hot weather lately. And dry weather. East, even on the west coast in Hokitika I am, we've had a drought. So here is this is a pumpkin that I transplanted from over in this patch. It wasn't good at first, but it's coming along now. I had potatoes around it and I've pulled them out first to give that a bit of encouragement. As you can see, there's potatoes around here. But they don't seem to be interfering with my pumpkin at the moment, so I'm not going to worry about them until they're ready. Some more potatoes, and in here is another pumpkin which I transplanted from the other box over here. These are all self-seeded potatoes. They'll be crown pumpkins, which is my favourite for pumpkin soup and for roasting. And so this one here will need a bit more sun. So my next potatoes, when I only pull the potatoes out one plant at a time as I need them, because it's only me and my husband here. So that plant next to it will be the next to go. Even though it's still in flower, they're quite big underneath. They're actually quite a decent size. I haven't tickled any in that bin over there yet, but I know over in this bin, I pulled a couple of weeds out there a few days ago. There's some really big ones. Okay, so here, this is an experiment for me. Well, I won't call it an experiment. This is my first time trying to grow a watermelon. Today I went round and self-pollinated some of the flowers when the flowers were open. As you can see, they're all closed now. You'll see they're all closing up. Over here, over here, over here. And I thought I would try something different. So early this morning I went out and lightly tapped my finger in each flower. It's really amazed me. I came out here about half an hour ago to find some watermelons. You'll see them here, just little baby watermelons. Now they went here this morning. And even down here, these are all the flowers I tapped this morning that had no watermelons at all. So I'm really getting excited. Excuse me, I've had a few beers. This is really exciting for me. On this one, this is a self-seeded. I like to do everything on a budget. These grew up wild from last year. And last year I was given 3 cherry tomato plants from the nursery that they were going to throw out. So me being me, took them. I've just picked the first one tonight for my husband. It was a nice ripe one for him, and of course it went straight into his mouth. So here, that is another self-seeded. Here is a plant. It doesn't seem to be doing much. I really thought it would have shot up more than that, but it hasn't. But it's good to have tomatoes in staggering stages. I did plant the tomatoes late due to me working truck and trailers for Fonterra out of Darfield. So this one is called a Sweet 100. This one here, I don't know the name, but it is a cheap tomato, me being me. I've tried the Super Toms and found that you get more bang for your buck just out of the normal tomatoes. Problem with this one was I pruned it about a week, probably 2 weeks ago, and accidentally took off a big layer of tomatoes. But we've got some more tomatoes growing. I do like to try and take off quite a few leaves. Being in a tunnel house, you need to take off a lot of leaves because you don't get the ventilation like you do outside. Now here we go. My cucumber, which has already given me heaps of cucumbers, even though I didn't put the plant in until last month, which was November. I've had so many cucumbers. Now this is a cucumber I've mentioned in the comments in the past, where every flower will produce cucumbers. You'll see them through there. There is just every flower produces, and it's where the male and the female produces, so you don't have to worry about pollination. Now here is my my zucchini. Now I picked the wrong zucchini plant, but this is staying. You'll find here I've got zucchinis growing. Normally I get one where every flower produces, but I've got the odd male one in there. I just brought it wrong. I was late planting because I'd got home late from Darfield, which is quite a few hours away because I was living in Darfield and only coming back every 2 weeks for a few days. This is an experiment. I wanted to try and grow cauliflower behind the corn. As corn takes up quite a lot of height, as we all know, being in a tunnel house, you have this curve, and I didn't want the corn back digging into the plastic. So I've planted the corn at the front, which is now getting little tiny tassels on it, and all the collie are looking marvellous. And you'll see in between, okay, I've got little margarine puddles set about 3 foot, maybe, 3 foot metre for your younger ones apart, and they get quarter filled with beer. Now I get the beer for free from a certain club here in Hokitika, but I won't mention a name. It's just the slops, the leftover beer. You can get that all for free at your local pub, club or whatever. And they just put it in a 3 litre fruit juice bottle for me. But I haven't had to put beer in. And my main reason is tobacco plants. Tobacco plants scare away all of the slugs. Probably kills them off. My husband and I are smokers, and we had a very good tobacco crop over the winter, which we harvested about a month ago. So that's all drying. I'm not advertising smokes, it's bad for your health, but tobacco does keep away a lot of unwanted slugs, bugs, or whatever you want to call it. Here, it's more of an experiment. I like experimenting rather than growing the same old. I could have put lettuces in there that are easy to grow, or carrots and parsnips, but I wanted to try this kumara. Now this is a kumara I buried 9-10 months ago in the soil out here, and it shot out this shoot. So I don't know how that's going to go. I've only just been googling on what to do. Here we have it's a native strawberry plant. There's probably no strawberries left on it because I've gutsed a heap of them this afternoon. Now I just gave away this whole section of strawberry plants. It just got out of control, and it was actually through your site, you know, the gardening on a budget, where I didn't want to throw them out, so a lady came and collected them all, and I just said, just leave one plant. This strawberry, it's a native, and I'm not joking, it tastes like strawberry bubblegum. Someone might be able to let me know what the actual plant is, but all I know is I got it for free from a friend of a friend who sent me some down from Napier. Now this tunnel house is a 20-foot tunnel house made by Morriefield in Invercargill. I've had no problems. This is going to be its third season, and what I've done here is I've raised it by 2 6x2s, as you can see down here, and the base of the tunnel house is at the top. So this top bit frame came with the tunnel house. So my husband and I raised it. We'd gone around and looked at quite a few tunnel houses around Hokitika on how to design. So all I have to do is put a plank of wood across and sit down and do my weeding, gardening or whatever. At the moment I'm still agile, but we're thinking of ahead when we're getting on the tooth a bit. I'm 50. Well, 50 in March. I'm still fine. I don't have to bend as low to... Oh, there's another cucumber. I didn't see you. Oh, I'll have to shift you, because the problem with these trellises is you don't want them growing through this trellis. You want them growing this side of it, because if they go through it, they get to the point where they get too big, and then they sort of, you've got to cut them out to get them out. The plant I had last year produced 180 cucumbers, and that was off one plant. I gave a lot of mine away. I don't grow all of these veggies to sell. I grow them to either give away, swap, or whatever, but mainly it's given away. This here is also, these bins here are also sort of like my compost bins. So here you can see there's some cucumbers and tomatoes that I've had. And they just get thrown on there, and then the lawn clippings get thrown on again. And then I will fertilise with a liquid fertiliser once a week. What we also did with this tunnel house, when it comes with this clear plastic sliding door, this plastic, and for an optional extra, we got it later, we got the screen door as well, so you can slide one across, one to the other, so we still got the air coming through. It's got the 2 air vents, definitely needed, especially this time of year with the summer. Excuse all of my firewood in the shed. And this back window, which always, oh, can you see that? Yeah, that has been a bugbear, because not because of the front design. Every time I mow the lawns, I do the weed eating first and I cop it, and then if I forget to close it, I'll cop it again on my head. Anyway, I'm going to put this on YouTube, put it on New Zealand Gardening on with a budget, and also send it to my father-in-law, who's into his gardening. He's 92 and he's still at home and he loves gardening, and it's great that he's still doing it. I hope you guys have learnt something from this, or if it's helped one person, that's great. I love getting advice from everyone as well. It's really good. In the future, hopefully in the next few months, right across here when we have the fence, I'm putting in some more planters. They're going to be like this one, quite a reasonably good depth. You know, you don't want the 1 inch. 1 inch, they end up after a few years buckling. If you're going to do it, you do the 2-inch or more, and find out what they have been treated with, because you don't want any nasties. But all the way down here is going to be a nice big planter for more veggies. Okay guys, hey, thank you. Please like it if you like it. If you don't like it, let me know.